Imagine holding an iPhone that feels like a single piece of precision-crafted metal. No seams where the camera bump begins, no layered glass plates glued to a separate frame. Just one flawless block of aluminum, shaped and polished into something that looks both futuristic and timeless. That's the direction leaks suggest Apple is taking with the iPhone 17 Pro. And if it's true, this isn't just another small step in design. It's a complete rethink of how the iPhone is built. For years, Apple has followed a familiar pattern: a glass back, a distinct metal frame, and a separate camera bump housing the lenses. It's elegant, yes. It's also very Apple. But in 2025, change might be coming in a way that feels almost revolutionary. Reports from trusted industry sources reveal that Apple is preparing to abandon the layered design entirely. In its place, a precision-milled, recycled aluminum unibody. This means the back, the sides, and even the camera bump will be part of one continuous piece. The implications are big. A unibody like this is stronger, it can be lighter, it can manage heat better, and it opens up new possibilities for how the inside of the phone is arranged. Even the look of the device changes. It's cleaner, sharper, more minimal. The only glass on the back would be in a small insert, just enough to allow wireless charging and MagSafe to work properly. Why the sudden move away from titanium, Apple's current premium choice? The answer comes down to practicality and purpose. Titanium is tough, but it's hard to machine into complex shapes. Aluminum, on the other hand, is easier to work with and more forgiving in high-precision milling. That matters when you're trying to carve the phone's back, sides, and camera structure all from one block. It's also much more recyclable. Apple already uses high-grade recycled aluminum in products like the MacBook and iPad, so this shift would fit neatly into the company's growing environmental strategy. And while aluminum might not have the same exotic appeal as titanium, it offers advantages in speed, cost, and sustainability, all without sacrificing the premium feel Apple customers expect. The leaks aren't just vague whispers. We've seen manufacturing clues that are hard to fake. In one blurry but telling photo from a factory floor, you can spot fine aluminum shavings scattered around a milling station. You can make out a fixture shaped exactly like an iPhone body. You can even see a half-finished chassis with stepped lens cutouts and a ring for MagSafe already inset into the metal. Details like these point toward a genuine production process, not a concept render or fan-made prop. And one of the most interesting details in these leaks is something we haven't seen on any iPhone before: a groove running around the camera bump. That groove is for the antenna. And this is where things get clever. Normally, iPhone antennas are split into several small bands along the frame to avoid interference from your hand. But in this design, the antenna wraps entirely around the raised camera module. This creates a single, uninterrupted signal path with a high surface area for transmission. If that sounds familiar, it's because Apple used a similar trick on the Apple Watch Ultra to maximize reception despite its compact, rugged design. Scaling that up to a phone makes perfect sense. It means stronger connections for cellular, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth, fewer dropouts, better range, and potentially faster speeds. The unibody approach also brings major internal benefits. In the current design, space is wasted on extra housing: layers, screws, and brackets to hold the camera bump in place. By carving it directly into the body, that space can be freed up. Apple could use it for a bigger battery, a more advanced periscope zoom camera, or better cooling systems for the A19 Bionic chip and GPU. Cooling in particular could see a leap forward. Aluminum conducts heat better than titanium. That means the phone could spread and release heat more efficiently during intense gaming or long 4K video shoots, reducing the risk of thermal throttling, where performance slows down to keep temperatures safe. There's also quiet speculation that this design could finally enable reverse wireless charging. Imagine placing your AirPods or Apple Watch on the back of your iPhone to charge them. Apple has been rumored to be working on this for years, but space and heat issues may have held it back. A unibody with improved thermal management could change that. It's worth noting that some so-called leaks circulating online, especially older dummy units, may already be outdated. Sources suggest Apple has even taken steps to mislead leakers with decoy designs. The real thing appears to match recent CAD drawings from certain concept creators far more closely than it does those older prototypes. This shows just how tightly Apple guards its design secrets. From a design perspective, this is more than just a material swap. It's a philosophical shift. For years, Apple's premium appeal has been tied to glossy glass and fine metal accents. But the iPhone 17 Pro, if these leaks are right, will lean into industrial minimalism. It's designed for the sake of performance, not just for show. That's why this change could matter even more than the jump from stainless steel to titanium, or the move from flat edges to rounded ones. It's about function shaping form. It's about every detail serving a purpose: strength, efficiency, sustainability, and connectivity. To summarize what we've learned so far, the iPhone 17 Pro may feature a one-piece recycled aluminum chassis for better strength and heat management. The camera bump will be integrated into the back itself, freeing up space inside. A wraparound antenna will improve wireless performance across all standards. Glass will only be used where it's absolutely necessary for charging. And all of this could allow for a bigger battery, more advanced camera hardware, and better cooling. If true, this would be one of the most significant physical redesigns in iPhone history. Not flashy, but purposeful. It's the kind of change that could set a new standard for what premium means in smartphones. And while some may miss the glossy elegance of glass, others might see this as a step toward the future. A device that blends industrial strength with cutting-edge technology in a way only Apple can deliver. When Apple changes something about the iPhone, the tech world pays attention. Not just because it's Apple, but because history shows that when they commit to a big design change, the rest of the industry often follows. Think about the notch in 2017, the removal of the headphone jack in 2016, the shift to flat edges in 2020. Even when critics complain at first, competitors eventually adopt similar approaches. That's why the iPhone 17 Pro's rumored switch to a one-piece aluminum unibody isn't just a design choice. It's a potential industry trendsetter. If Apple proves that a unibody chassis can deliver better performance, improved durability, and more efficient manufacturing, other smartphone makers will want to copy the formula. And make no mistake, this isn't the first time Apple has done something like this. Back in 2008, the original MacBook Air stunned the laptop world with its solid aluminum unibody construction. At the time, most laptops were plastic shells bolted together. Apple's method was stronger, sleeker, and felt more premium in the hand. Within a few years, aluminum unibodies became common across the entire premium laptop market. The iPhone 17 Pro could be that same turning point for smartphones. Let's start with durability. One of the biggest frustrations for smartphone users is the combination of fragility and cost. Drop a glass-backed phone and you risk shattering it, even if it's a $1,000 flagship. With a carved aluminum back, the iPhone 17 Pro could be far more resistant to cracks from everyday accidents. Aluminum can dent, yes, but dents are less catastrophic than spiderweb cracks across a glass panel. And unlike titanium, aluminum's malleability allows for easier repair or replacement in case of damage. Now consider thermal performance. As smartphones get more powerful, heat management becomes a bigger challenge. Modern chips like the A19 Bionic will likely push performance further than ever, which means more heat under sustained workloads. Glass is a poor conductor of heat. Titanium is better, but aluminum is significantly better still. With an aluminum unibody acting like a heat spreader, the iPhone could maintain peak performance for longer without throttling. Gamers, video editors, and power users would notice the difference immediately. There's also a manufacturing advantage here. Milling a unibody from aluminum is a mature process. Apple has decades of experience doing it with MacBooks and iPads. This means they can produce these new iPhone chassis with remarkable precision at scale, and, importantly, with more sustainable recycling methods. The company's environmental messaging would get a big boost. Imagine the keynote. Every iPhone 17 Pro is made from 100% recycled aluminum. That's the kind of line that resonates with both customers and regulators. Of course, this shift could force competitors to respond. Companies like Samsung, Google, and Xiaomi have leaned heavily on glass designs in recent years. If Apple proves that aluminum unibodies can feel premium while offering practical benefits, we could see rivals rethinking their material choices. But here's the tricky part. Not every manufacturer has Apple's manufacturing ecosystem. Precision milling at Apple's scale is a huge barrier to entry. That's why, if Apple succeeds, it might actually widen the gap between them and their competition.